Boom, boom. This is Kendra. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, got a little bit of Azur laying on tap today. So let's go ahead and talk about what we've got. So as you know, the event is currently going on, Shimmering Blue event. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over the ships that are in them. We've got UR Shimikaz, Chikuma, Katsuragi, Yumakaz, Yamakaz, Yura. I probably butchered those names, so I apologize. I do not speak Japanese very well. So let's go ahead and talk about what else came out. So one of the things, another thing that we got was the much awaited destroyer buff. So it was designed to make destroyers a little bit more meta, so to speak. If you're looking for destroyers to start surviving 12, 13, no. Still not going to happen. But they did get a sort of a damage increase and a few other things. So let's go ahead and talk about the three buffs. Now, this is not a selection. You don't get a choice as to what buff you get. It's based on the type of destroyer that you got. For instance, if you're a torpedo based, torpedo damage based destroyer, you're going to get a decrease in your torpedo spread. So making that a little bit more fine-tuned. But that's enhanced by the fact that torpedoes now, another update was torpedoes now have auto lock. So a decreased spread, auto lock is going to mean you're going to be able to bring forth more damage. Shimikaz benefits from this buff greatly, making her a serious damage dealer. Unfortunately, her survival is still, she's got a little bit better stats. And put her with Shinano, because she get the buff from Shinano. You might be able to make her survive, but it's iffy. Okay, well, it's just something we're going to have to do. I'm working her up. I've got her like almost to 70 right now. And we'll just have to see what happens. But she's already dying. I'm in C3. In C3, she dies. I've run it a couple of times, and she's died a couple of times in it too. So she does survive occasionally. But, you stick her in the center, put 2 tanks on the buff. On the bookends to help, but she still dies even in the center. So, but she's not fully limit broke yet, so there's a problem. I've only got her. I haven't put those final 2 on her. I've already got her twice actually. I got her on the first draw, which you saw. I had the video on that. I got her again this morning. And I purchased one of the Bullens for her. So when she gets to 670, I'll probably just go ahead and pop on the final limit break, since I did get another copy of her. So. I'm really impressed. I don't know if they increased the drop rate. They say it's at 1.2%. I must be getting really lucky. I also have Katsuragi. I got her on the first day. I've got Yumakaz as well too. Yamakaz is in the point accumulation. I've already hit 10,000. I think I'm about 15,000 right now almost. So I've already got her as well. So I just need to get Yura and Chikuma. I want to get Chikuma because she's a pretty good tank. Not better than Azuma, but she's still competition. If you don't have Azuma, she's something you might want to consider. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. So the torpedo spread for all torpedo-based destroyers get that. Gun-based destroyers, they get decreases the all-out assault firing requirement by half. You might be able to find some videos out there of people already utilizing this, putting three of those gun-based destroyers in the Vanguard, watching them spam all-out assault. Excellent for clearing trash mobs. Okay, not going to work in high-level games, but it's something pretty nice. As I said, they've got a damage increase, so they're a little bit more useful. You can probably get a little bit more out of them. You might be able to start using them in farming well up into 10 before you have problems. Before, you really probably couldn't get much past 8 or 9 before you started to have, had to add ships in with more oil cost for farming. You might be able to get by with a little bit more. And then the last one is the support destroyers. They get an increased stats gain from auxiliary gear by 30%. So if you've got a utility support destroyer, Eldridge comes to mind, you might be able to stick 2 repair kits on them. They get a 30%. That can increase your health dramatically. Still probably not enough to actually focus on getting something in the late game, but makes it a little bit more survivable. So that is one of the things that they got. So that's the destroyer buff that we got. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ships here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Shimikaz. So basically, Shimikaz is a torpedo. She's the new torpedo damage. With the torpedo spread decrease, she gets she can just do a massive amount of damage. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So we got upon the wind's edge. Okay, when this ship fires her torpedoes, she fires a level 10 special barrage and executes a slashing attack. Enemies hit by this slashing attack 3.5%, that's 8% fully lift damage. Increase the damage of the ship for 3 seconds and inflicts a flooding ailment which lasts 6 seconds to enemies hit by her torpedoes. So flooding deals 170 damage per tick, and 1 tick occurs every 3 seconds. So as you can see, she's got a little bit of a damage, and considering you're going to get torpedo efficiency increase, so it's going to be pretty good. All right, and then we got before the lightning's flash, and at the start of the battle, when this ship's torpedoes finish reloading, for 10 seconds it decreases the damage taken by 15% and increases her damage dealt with torpedoes by 12%. It increases your Vanguard's speed by 3. So increase in speed should make them a little bit more survivable. She's super fast. Okay, so that helps with her evasion. Okay, and these effects cannot be stacked. Okay, and then last is within the Thunder's Roar. Increases the ship's accuracy by 15% and decreases her damage taken from torpedoes by 10. While this ship is afloat, when a fleet turns, this ship is not engaged. So this is the fleet. If you take a fleet, 2 sorties, you have 2 fleets in your sorties, and you're using the other fleet, okay, that does not have Shimikaz in it, then all the DDs and that other one will get an increased torpedo by 10% for the full battle. And 30 seconds into the battle, they'll fire a supporting torpedo barrage. It's based on skill level. And then, of course, all-out assault. And, of course, she gets the torpedo damage buff, so she will not be firing all-out assault with a decreased limit. But it's going to increase her torpedo damage, so hey, as you can see, she's entirely torpedo-based. Torpedo, torpedo, torpedo. So everything she does is based on her torpedoes. So keep that in mind. So she's going to be dealing out a ton of damage, but at the same time, she's a destroyer. She does have increased stats, and she does have some survivability. But whether or not she's in-game, we'll have to see in terms of that. So let's take a look at Chikuma. All right, Chikuma, she's pretty good in terms of what she's got to offer. Problem with Chikuma is the fact that she really doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but she is pretty tanky. So if you're looking for something in terms of tanky, you might be able to get by with using her as a tank. She's not better than Azuma in terms of tankiness, and Azuma is now a much better ship. We're also going to talk about Azuma here a little bit later because she got a fate simulation right now, which makes her totally awesome. So Chikuma, I'm not going to read these off. So at the start of the battle, decreases her speed, okay, by 5% for 3 seconds, and she fires a level barrage, okay. Enemies hit by seaplanes have their speed decreased by 30% for 5 seconds. So basically, she's going to launch the seaplanes. They're going to drop bombs. Any of the bombs that hit, it's going to slow down the opposing team, which is nice. It's for 5 seconds. It's not very long, but anytime they're slow, there's nice. Okay, and then if there's a Sakura Bar CV afloat in your main fleet, when there's 50% chance to inflict 6% aircraft damage debuff for 8 seconds to enemies hit by the barrage, and 70%, well, it's actually 100 when you backs it up, chance to inflict the fall randomly Tozen buff, decrease their evasion by 10, decrease accuracy by 10, or decrease enemies damage dealt by 10. So all of these are pretty nice in terms of a good buff. So we'll have to see. When the ship speed decreases as a result of their skills activating, increases her evasion rate by 10% for the duration of the decreases the ship's damage taken by 20%. So as you can see, she's going to have a lot. She's going to be a lot. She's tanky. It's a very good tank. But as we can see, really not a whole lot in terms of damage. So it is what it is. But she's not a bad ship. So if you don't have Azuma and you're looking for something, this might be something to look for. Katsuragi here. Katsuragi, she's not a lot in terms of damage, but everybody out here talking about her says she's the first defensive carrier for the Sakura Empire. What that means exactly, I guess, is something in terms of I don't see where that's really that big of an issue. Increase the ship's accuracy. When the ship launches an airstrike, it launches a damage. It decreases all enemies' accuracy and reload by 5. I assume that's what they mean by defensive. So she's not buffing herself, but she's sort of like decreasing the enemies. And it increases the ship's gauge level, max detection gauge level by 50. Increases her damage taken from aircraft by 10. At the start of the battle, if there are 3 Sakura Empire ships, it decreases all your Sakura Empire ships' damage taken from aircraft by 4. So as you can see, there's really not a whole lot of damage in any of these skills. So more defensive is what we're looking. So not offensive, defensive. So she's not a bad ship. If you're looking for something to take into higher levels, she might be something you want to consider. All right, Yumakas, I'm not going to go over their skills. Yumakas and Yamakas are destroyers. There's nothing that's going to make them usable in late game. They are nice in terms of design. So if you're looking for something, you might want to consider that. Okay, Yuma's a cruiser, but again, nothing really that there's much better in the game right now that you can use in terms of that. So there's really nothing that you're going to get from that. However, what I do want to talk about here is the fate simulation that Azuma has gotten. Azuma has always been a little bit of a due to the fact that she was a priority ship, DR priority ship, mind you, not a standard of the other ships that are in the priority standard. I guess you could term them as SSR ships or SR ships. She did not have a fate simulation. Now, fate simulations for the SSR ships was 15 luck and then an increase over the skills. Well, the actual luck increase that Azuma is going to get is 25 luck. This is going to make her even more tanky because luck. One of the things that luck benefits is evasion. Okay, so she's going to be evading better, which means she's going to technically have what they call more EHP, which means she's going to be more tankier than she already was. So that makes her even more important in terms of that. So you definitely want to go ahead and get the fate simulation for her. So now, in terms of that, you want to you can get, if you look at the ships right here, map drop. She drops on C3 and D3. So you want, or I'm sorry, B3 and C3, I believe it was. Yeah, B3, D3, SP mode. So this is if you want to get Chikuma. If you're lacking her like I am, B3 and D3 might be something that you want to farm in terms to try to get her, because she is an excellent ship. They've also got the limit ships from everything else in which you can drops, bullets, and this is empty clear D3. This will be nice little furniture for your dorm. So keep that in mind when you're doing it. But those are the ships. So, Shimikas we're going to have to see. Does a lot more damage than destroyers, and she's a torpedo. She's noticing her is the new torpedo goddess right now. So definitely do a ton of damage. Now the actual rainbow item, which is inside of the actual shop, it's a pretty good piece of equipment, but it's really not much farther along than the actual the gold torpedo that they have out right now. But it's something that you might want to do, but it's pretty expensive. It also doesn't benefit from the torpedo spread buff. Okay, so and one of the things about it that they've been talking about, at least the ones who have purchased it and used it, is it doesn't seem to, because the auto lock on torpedoes is only lasting like 5 seconds. It's really not benefiting a whole lot inside of auto. Now, in terms of manual, it's very, very, very good upgrade. So if you manual, this is definitely something that you want to get. So, and that's the item inside of the shop. Let me pull my Azur lane over here, and we'll get it up to speed here, and I'll show you what we're talking about. So we're talking about the gun that is inside of the shop and inside the munitions. It's this right here, the quintuple 610 millimeter torpedo. So if you're going manual, this is an upgrade, big upgrade, because it's very, 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 very good for manual players. But if you do auto, they're finding that it's really not helping that much in terms of what you got. Now, if you do manual, put it on Shimikaz would be great. I mean, it's a Shimikaz class. It's designed specifically for Shimikaz. Okay, the UR ship, this is her piece of gear. You're not going to find that much of a buff in auto. As a matter of fact, they're saying that they didn't see any increase in any type of damage, piddly, in terms of if you're going to auto. So, but if you're going to manual, where you can have the target lock, it's a lot better. So, but that's up to you. You know, but it's a lot. So you're going to have to farm, you know, quite a bit. Hopefully you can get Chikuma inside of B3D3 or the SP. So you won't have to purchase from Side Shop. But either way, that's the goal. And the actual fate simulation for Azuma, as I mentioned before, 25 luck. And this also is going to increase her damage, which is making her already a very good ship. So this is only going to make her even more powerful in terms. I'm not to the damage yet. I'm only at 28, so I can't actually show you the fate simulation. But it's 25 luck. Other SR ships only get 15 luck. Plus, it's going to be an increase to her actual skill. So I think you're going to find out that you know, that's going to be great. It's going to make her, you know, more tanky, which she was already like one of the most tankiest ships in the game, if not already the tankiest ship in the game. And she's also going to be doing more damage, so that just makes her all around much better. Now we're just waiting for the fate simulation for FDG, which is going to make FDG, who's already the most powerful ship in the game, even more powerful in the game. 25 luck is going to be immense. So I guess all of the DR ships, you can tell if it's DR just simply by the rainbow design in the back. All of them are going to be 25 luck for all of them, and we're starting to get their fate simulations now, which is going to make PR ships even more powerful. So anybody who was holding off on them or wasn't focused on them, start focusing on them, because now with the DR buffs coming for the DR ships, it's behooves you to actually get them. Like I say, I already have FDG and she's already maxed out, and Zuma, as you can see, I'm almost there. We'll be there shortly. Probably going to take another few days. A few weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Got to go through 3 levels, well, 2 levels actually, and then I'll start on the fate simulation. I've got a lot of that PR2 cubes lined up that you can actually do for that. I did get somebody who wanted to talk about that actually, so let me go ahead and do that real quick, and how this works inside the prototype shop. Okay, so basically what you've got inside of here, okay, so everybody's been wondering how to get this. It's very simple. Go into your analysis. Now, you only want to use, you know, blueprints for ships that you've already maxed out. Okay, I've maxed out FTG, but since FTG is going to be getting a fate simulation sometime in the future, I'm not going to be using the ones for her. Now, I've also maxed out Seattle, but I'm still working on her fate simulation, so I'm not going to use anything for that. Okay, you got the reserve blueprints for fate simulation. So as you can see, it will not let you use them because the fate simulation is met. Now, if you uncheck that, then you'll be able to use them. So don't uncheck that. Okay, but I do have Georgia finished. Georgia's completely finished. Fate simulation is completely done, so I have absolutely no use whatsoever for these blueprints. So I can analyze these, and this will give me 305 prototype core. Okay, so now you have the core, and now you can purchase stuff inside of here. You can purchase blueprints for other ships. Okay, so you know, you got your, you know, they can be used for just anything inside of here that has a this. I mean, you can't use it for this, and this, because this is used. You should be able to get this fairly easy just by playing the game. These are the booleans you need to limit break UR based ships such as Shinano, Jersey, and now Shimikaz. So that, understand that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet. I'll probably end up spending my blueprints, but I am seriously considering focusing on this gun simply because you need 50, and I only need 18 more, and I'll be able to make this gun. Okay, so I'm considering, but I want to do some research on it fourth to see if it would be, you know, how it compares to other golden guns in the game before I make that decision. But that is how you do it, okay? So you will only be able to see ships in here that you've got blueprints for on ships that you've already maxed out. With this checked, you won't be able to use them simply because of the fact that I've got this checked. You don't want to start using blueprints for ships until you've completed the Fate simulation, because the Fate simulation, PR ships have no luck until you do the Fate simulation. SR ships, as we said previously, will get 15 luck. DR ships are getting 25. At least that's what Azuma got. So our assumption is all DR ships will begin to get, as their Fate simulations roll out, they'll get 25 luck, which is greatly, you know, luck enhances some. It's a sort of, it's got special items and things that it does for you. I had a previous video where I discussed that, but it's sort of like you know, the evasion's one of the things and stuff like that. So it increases your efficiency. So it's definitely something that you want to get. 25 luck's quite a bit. So, but yeah, so that's what we do it. So then once you get the core, then you can purchase blueprints for Series 1 ships. These are for Series 3 ships. This is for Series 2, so you could get FDG and Azuma on this one. This one would be for Series 2, so you could use this for FDG and Azuma and any of the DR ships that are in Priority Season 3. So it's got some benefits to it. But that's what you use, you know, in the core shop, okay, as well as these blueprints. But you can get these. I've got those 32 just by you know, certain events and running certain levels when you get the blueprints and commissions. You get the blueprints for it in commissions sometimes as well. Every time I see it pop up, I just run one for it. That's why I've got 32. So that's the way to go. All right, so that's it. So yeah, the game's up. Now, as I said before, I have been getting a bunch of, so I've already got, you know, Shimikaz. I've got her up to 67 right now. Okay, but, and I've got Yamakaz, I've got Yumakaz, and I've got Katsuragi here. So I've got, you know, the 4 ships, and I've also got another copy of Shimikaz right here. I just said I pulled today, so I'm very pleased with that. I mean, got her and Katsuragi on the first day, then this other one here. I mean, in the past 2 events, it's always been right down to the wire to actually get the ship. Coming in on the last day, Shinano was the last day, and I think Jersey was either the day before or the last day as well too. So it's really nice to get. It's really nice to get the actual ship early on the first day, so I don't have to focus on it and worry about spending, you know, all of my cubes if I don't need to. So I've had pretty good luck, but I do want to get Chikuma, definitely, and Yuma if I could, you know, get my hands on her as well too, just to have all the ships, and then we'll go from there. So that's what's up. So just get in there and farm it out. I'm already up to, I think I finished. I'm in the D's now. Yeah, I'm at D1 right now, so I'll finish this up over the next few days, and then I'll just start focusing on the running these, and of course running the actual SP node. Don't forget to, you know, drop back here to the campaign and run these. As you can see, you get ×3 on these. I still got to run this A1, but I've already run all of the Bs. I run these daily. ×3 is just a way to get a bunch of the actual. These are the deep rot treasure is what they're called, items, so that you can use them for the shop. So we've still got plenty of time. All right, I think this runs until we're going to run up until I think it's what date is it in here? It ends on the 3rd, so we've got plenty of time in terms of that. So there's really no need to actually, you know, go into a super rush as to get these, because it's 9/16. Is when it started, so we're only, you know, 5 days in right now, so we're not even halfway mark. So you got plenty of time, so just keep farming and farming and farming. Plan on buying everything. I would say plan on purchasing just to be on the safe side. Shoot your target to get the 18,000 to purchase both the gun and Chikuma, just in case. Okay, and then you know, purchase it up to get the blueprints and the parts. That's what I'm shooting for, not these, but these. Okay. And this part's because this is for, you use these for Zoom and FTG. That's my goal, to get enough to do purchase all of that, and I'll consider this successful. So I'm going to try to get about 30,000 should be done. Probably end up around 35. You know, if you, anything left over, you can use it on gear boxes, the gear skin boxes, and maybe purchase some of the super rare cat boxes and whatnot. But just, you know, have enough. At the end of it, you can just purchase everything in the shop if you got that much left over. So it's not like you can't use it. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there, let everybody know. As soon as I get a little bit more info on Shimakawa, once I get her up, start seeing the buffs active and start seeing her survivability. But at 65, she's not able to do a full fleet, a full 5 inside of C3. Okay, she died a couple of times and she survived a couple of times, but she's only at 65, so I'm not holding that against her. She's definitely more survivable than other destroyers at this current time. So there is definitely a possibility she might be able to handle some 12-13 content. We'll just have to see once we get her up. But putting her with Shinano will give her an extra buff. The base stat buffs that they got, plus the other buff. And she does a ton of damage. There's no denying that. She is easily the highest damage destroyer in the game by far. So there's if you're looking for a damage on low levels, even though you might want to farm with her, you are a ship. So she's going to have a little bit in terms of detriment in terms of oil conservation farming, if that's what you're looking to do, because she is a UR ship. But her oil cost is not that bad in terms of what you're going to be seeing for her. Once I get her fully limit broken, maxed out, we'll see what she's costing in terms of oil at that time. But her stats are a little bit elevated in terms of what a normal destroyer has. So we're going to see. But they are in the process of bringing them up. So definitely a damage increase, a base stat increase, and she's a UR ship, high evasion. I'm hoping that evasion is going to be able to make her survivable. We'll have to see. Once we get her out, fully kitted out, max leveled, and then we'll put her in 12 and 13 and see how she fares. All right, so again, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Of course, if you click on the bell, YouTube will be kind enough to let you know whenever I do drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as that does help the channel immensely. So this is Kenrir coming at you from the corner, signing out.